Recorded calls, it get tricky on this war phone. Can't wait till the day that I come home. Doing time behind these walls, I wouldn't wish it on nobody. Life on pause, but the clock still rolling, hey. Stepping down on the gas, but feel nothing. Soon enough, you just get numb to it all. You can't walk this time off, don't get involved with the law on some real shit.
It's your boy, Parole. Thank you for tuning in to Prison Files Podcast. Please hit that like and subscribe button for notifications of future fire content. Now let's kick back and relax while I take you inside the deepest corners of the California prison system. Hey, it's your boy, Parole, back in the building. I got another exclusive interview for you guys today. I got Big Simba coming from West LA on the line with us. This man has 30 years in the California prison system on a life sentence, was just granted suitability by the parole board and given a release date. And right before this man was to be released, it was taken from him. So we're going to jump right into it. Simba, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. It's your boy Simba, the last albino gorilla still in captivity. Yeah, CDCR has this real bad thing about trying to keep people held responsible for things that they've done 30, 40, 50 years ago. My story is kind of short. You know what I mean? I'm a black inmate who came to prison in 1996 for second-degree robbery under 3 strikes. I've been down 30 years. Since being in prison, I've been validated as a prison gang member and sent to the SHU. I spent 5.5 years in the SHU under 24 hours a day lockup. I spent so much time back there that I got a chance to really realize where my life was going. We continually tried to come from back there. No 115s, no write-ups, no staff incursions, anything like that, but yet still denied. We even had to go through starving ourselves just to come from back there. Finally, when I did get a chance to come from back there, I came to an institution that had a lot of programming. Really wasn't interested in the program at the time because I still had that mentality. I was somebody on the yard. I marched hard, I pushed hard, but I didn't realize pushing hard meant staying in prison for the rest of my life. I was lucky enough to come upon somebody that had some love for me and wanted to show me the right way. And showing me the right way, he made sure that I locked myself into every program that was available, and I did that. I went to 9 years with Model 115. I went through 37 programs in 39 months. I have certificates for every last one of them. I have 47 attaboy chronos. What an attaboy chrono is a chrono for a staff member saying that they believe that you are a changed man now. Went to the parole board the first time. Parole board told me, bring me 3 more years and we can see you go home. I brought him to 3 more years, still programming. I became a part of a program called Peer Support Specialist. I became part of a program called SARS. I became part of a program called Criminal Mastery and Mastering Self. No more criminal thinking. No matter what program I became a part of, it never seemed to be enough. The acknowledgement didn't come in the manner that it wanted to. I went back to the parole board. The parole board finally saw, hey, this guy is not the same person that he was. He's no longer involved in gang activity. He's around trying to help the youth. He's always available when staff needs a hand. We're going to let him go. So they did. They gave me a date. No more than 45 days later, I was granted that date. I was given a call to come to the counselor's office, and I was told that my date was being taken from me because I put money on another inmate's books to get more canteen. But that's not how they saw it. They saw it as me putting money on somebody else's books to evade paying restitution. Funny thing is, I've had a job almost the whole time I've been in prison. Restitution has been being taken out of my paycheck every single month. Not to mention the money that was being put on my books by my family was being taken. Restitution was paid off. I got a chance to go back to the parole board again and make my spiel. Didn't seem to matter, though. With all the good things that I've done, didn't mean anything. Simply the fact that I had put money on somebody else's books was grounds enough for them to say that I was too dangerous to be let go. Can you imagine that? After somebody coming to prison who has stabbings, who has removals, who has staff assaults, let all of that go, changed all of those things, and yet I'm still too dangerous to go to the street because I put money on another inmate.
I want my viewers, my listeners at home to really think about that. 30 years this man has been incarcerated, right? Mind you, when he started his term, he was into the lifestyle that, you know, most of us prisoners fall into when we first come in, and we have to grow into rehabilitation. This man did exactly that. He grew into rehabilitation, rehabilitated himself, has been paying his restitution, but put money on his neighbor's books so he can get some extra canteen. I mean, my boy's kind of big. What we looking at?
You know, I'm 6'3". I weigh 285, and you know, it takes a lot to fill me.
Yeah, right. So, you know, he put some money on his neighbor's books, you know, and to get some extra canteen, and that's all the prison parole board needed to deny this man an opportunity to return home with his family. This man's a facilitator, you know.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Every day going out of his way to help inmates, to enlighten inmates, especially the newer inmates that are coming in to the prison system, on trying to deter them from taking the outlook and the mindset that he did initially when he came in and falling into the criminal aspect of the penal system. I know the brother's a good man. I facilitate with him for self-awareness and recovery, both certified youth counselors. So it was just shocking to me to see this man put in all this effort, all this work, and have the time in 30 years in prison. And they find him suitable. You are not a threat to society. We're going to release you home with your family and your loved ones. And yet they take it for something that small, right? So I'm just trying to give you guys an outlook to the inside workings of what it takes for an inmate to get out of prison. And some at home, listening, interviewing, you might be like, oh, well, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done that. Well, there's nothing, no memos or nothing coming out until very recently when this individual's case occurred that, and you can't put money on somebody's books. You can't. It wasn't a big deal. People's been doing this for decades, right? So I just wanted to give you guys a little insight into, you know, what he's been going through lately, and he's had a journey like no other. You know, I mean, we were both on the hunger strikes together. Where were you at? You were in Corcoran, right?
In Corcoran, sure.
Yeah, so you were in Corcoran. I was on my way up to Pelican Bay, you know, I did the whole 53 days, so I know what this man had to endure just to get out of solitary confinement back onto the main line, to be able to take advantage of the incentives, the privileges, the opportunities that one has to be able to prove he is rehabilitated.
The thing that I want the outside to know most more than anything else is that along with the rehabilitation, we have to change our mindset. And changing your mindset while you're constantly being pushed under a psychological dilemma is very, very difficult. But yet, I still have had no violence. I still have had no 115s or RVRs as they're known. I've still held it together. Yes, thanks to guys like my boy here and others that I look up to, we've all held each other together. But we still have this psychological press that's being pushed against us 24/7. There is no relief. There is no turnaround. I don't want to deal with this today. You have to deal with it 24/7. But yet we're all still holding it together, and it's not being acknowledged. Instead, we're being held accountable for it. And it just doesn't seem like a good thing. However, for those who say, well, you know, you knew you were doing something wrong, you're right. You're right. But knowing that you're doing something wrong and it actually being wrong, two very different things. And this restitution issue that is being used to hold lifers in prison, even though they have done everything they're supposed to do, is wrong. Here in the state of California, after 10 years, you don't even have restitution anymore. But yet the parole board is still using that same thing against lifers like myself to keep us in.
But I do want to know, you know, like, so my court fees was taken off after 10 years. This is really thanks to a new law that just passed in January. However, I paid over $15,000 of my court-mandated victim restitution, which was to be jointly paid by me and my co-defendant, and I'm still paying restitution right now. I paid my half. Now I'm paying his half because he hasn't fulfilled what he was supposed to pay. And being that it's jointly, you're still paying. So that's something that they put on lifers. So even though this bill did go through, it doesn't affect the victim restitution. And the victim's mother was the one that was receiving the payments in my case, and she passed away, unfortunately, in 2010. And I've been paying victim restitution all the way up to date. And it's just sitting in an account. Nobody was getting it, to the point where the district attorney found out that I was making a case about this the last time I went to court a couple weeks ago on my resentencing, and she asked the judge that the order be changed to another of the victim's family members for him to receive all the money that nobody has claimed yet. They just want us to pay. And it's a heavy burden. It takes 50%. Before this, it was 55% of all of your incoming money goes to restitution. Now it's at 50% of all of your incoming money, it goes to restitution. So that means that I got to put $100 on to get $50, and $50 doesn't go too far. The max monthly you can go to canteen is $300, right? And you really need that $300 if you're going to make it through the whole month, to get your hygiene, to get your necessities, and to get some food. And it's insane that they continually just stack on these fines. Mine, initially, they were going for, I think it was $10,385,000 of restitution. We had a separate hearing that dropped it down to approximately $50,000. And I've been paying on that since I was incarcerated, since I was sentenced in 2008. So what was your fine looking like?
My fine, I came to prison owing $11,000. Yeah. Within my first 10 years in prison, I had paid 5 of it. Yes. You know, once it was brought up to me that this was an issue after my last parole hearing, my family immediately went and paid the whole chunk of $1,500 that was left. It didn't seem to matter.
And see, that's the crazy thing about it, is that if it's our restitution, then they need to find a way to only take it from our pay numbers, our money, not the money that our...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
But the fact of the matter is, they don't care who they get the money from as long as they get it. So my wife, you know, she works full-time jobs, takes care of our kids at home, takes care of the bills. But yet, when she wants to look out for me so I can have some canteen, they're taking half of the money that she has, you know, put in the blood, sweat, and tears to earn. And it's not right. This whole system is not right. And then when you put some money on somebody else's books that doesn't owe restitution, that way you can get, when you say I only have $25 that's coming to me, and I have the opportunity to put it on my next door neighbor's books, and he's like, well, I'll go to the store, I got 25 open, I'll give you the whole 25, right? In comparison to, I put it on my books, and I get $12.50, right? And I really need that $25 for the whole month. I mean, it just makes sense to put it on my neighbor's book and let him go to the store for me, because $4.50 isn't going to get me nothing serious, you know?
I don't want anybody to think that we're making an issue out of something that someone who is an inmate should already just accept. You know, you did something wrong, you went to prison, you're susceptible to whatever the rules in prison are. Yes, you're 100% right. 100%. However, there's right and there's wrong on the system. And we're being done wrong. We are showing year after year after year that we can be productive. You don't want to let us go, but you want to hold us captive. Those of us who have been down as long as me and my boy here are doing the same, the good things that we're doing, we're held even more accountable than anybody else, you know. But yet, the system isn't being held accountable.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
All right, well, we'll double back on this, man, because there's a lot more. I do want everybody at home to understand that this man is a rehabilitated man with 30 years in, and at no time has he ever made any excuses for anything. He's taken full responsibility and put in the effort and the work that's needed to be able to accomplish what he has accomplished. But we're at the 60 seconds. Smart brother, I want you to give a message to the youth.
To the youth, think before you act. Think before you act. think before you act.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
100%, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this and highlighting these issues that we're enduring right now in the California prison system. I appreciate you, brother. Have a blessed day.
Love you.
All right, take care, brother.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Prison Files podcast. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button and stay tuned. More fire content is on the way.